Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So, welcome aboard, take two. Tonight is Monday, November 29th, 2021. This is live stream number 722. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out, super casual. Just hang out there, talk about the latest in tabletop gaming. So provide you with some news, and then we take a first look at a tabletop game. Tonight, I am going to be taking a first peek and paging through Dungeons & Dragons Strixhaven, a Curriculum of Chaos from Wizards of the Coast. Of course, this is for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. This is going to be arriving in stores on December 7th, a day which will live in infamy, but not for the book coming out. Should also mention, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I stream the Dispatch live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. It'll also inform you when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Rackham Vale. Yes, if you like old school Renaissance, I think you're going to be interested in this. So stay tuned. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And finally, do want to mention this is a live stream. Our second go-round tonight, but it's still a live stream. So there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, or maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in and I will do my best to respond. So as I just mentioned, this is take two because our first stream got about 10 minutes into it and people started saying in chat, hey, this is out of sync. It's like, zoinks. I believe this should be okay. I believe we should be in good shape right now as far as being in sync because I closed down the software that I use, reopened it up, recorded about 30 seconds of me blabbering, and it was in sync. So I believe that should be the case. All right, speaking of chat. So tonight we have Flaming Huron, one of our chat moderators, is first out the gate saying hello in round two. Mr. Eddie T is with us. Russell Higgins, good to see you, Russell. Omanal, who is one of our reviewers at thegaminggang.com, reviewing role-playing games. Andrew Milicevic. Man, I just can't get Andrew's name. Good to have you here. Thanks for coming in, Andrew. Mr. Eddie T says the audio and video is in sync now. So we also know Sarah D's here. So she already said hello previously in chat. And let's see what else we got cooking. Russell Higgins is with us. I think I already said hello to Russell. All right. So we are off and running. Sweet. Hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, if you don't, just hoping that you enjoyed the last three and first one day, last three of last week and the first one of this week. Hope you had a great weekend and everything. My Thanksgiving was pretty low key. I mean, we never do anything too exciting for Thanksgiving. Went over to my brother's. We actually played a few games, myself and the niece and nephew and my sister-in-law and my mom for the first game before she left. So we had some fun, had a good time. Before we jump into the news, also should point out, if you are tuning in for the first look at Strixhaven, I do have to point out that we do tackle the latest in tabletop gaming news here on the Gaming Gang Dispatch. So we do that first, then we jump into our first looks. So if you are watching live, it's probably going to be about 20 to 25 minutes before we jump in. So just want to let you know. Of course, if you watch after this stream ends, about 30 minutes or more after the end of the stream, then there are also time stamps. English, Jeff, time stamps that you'll be able to utilize, not time stamps. Helga Ratbone's with us. Good to see you, Helga. Thanks for joining us once again. Without further ado, let's jump on into the news because I've got a nice eclectic mix of items. Arriving this week from Dragon Dawn Productions is Mishu. And here's the scoop. According to the Orkneyinga saga, Earl Ragnvald Callie Coulson broke into the chambered tomb of Mishu on Orkney in 1150 AD. In 1153 AD, Earl Harold Madadson and a group of his men sheltered there during a snowstorm. The sagas tell us that Ragnvald found treasure there and that two of Harold's men went mad. Alone or with a friend, players will, on their turn, need to play one card to the row and discard one. Managing their hand of 5 cards, players need to make tough calls on what to play while carefully managing their resources of health, food, and cards left in their draw deck. The players will free themselves from the Tomb of Meshu once they've removed enough rubble blocking their escape. By playing a set of 4 excavation cards to the row, the players are able to remove rubble. The timing of when to start a set of excavation cards will be critical, since a row of less than 4 will result in those cards being lost, decreasing player chances for survival. If the player ever finds themselves having 0 health or having run out of cards in their draw deck, they've lost, and their dead bodies will be found in the tomb of Mishu by archaeologists hundreds of years later. Hate when that happens. Other threats presented by their draw deck includes such things as the passage collapsing and running out of food, while some well-needed sleep or Odin himself sending a raven to watch over you can provide you with some much-needed relief. This updated version of Lee Broderick's print-and-play game Meshu offers a streamlined version of the core gameplay, while adding a series of mini expansions and alternate setups for more variety, challenge, and replayability. Mishu is for 1 or 2 players, ages 12 and up, plays in 15 to 30 minutes, and it's going to carry an MSRP of $30. You may recall I did a Kickstarter preview of Mishu. This was a while back. I do think it was this year, though, if I remember correctly. And I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was interesting. And it's the kind of game where if you're a fan of the Lost Expedition from Osprey Games, designed by Pierre Sylvester, then this is one to keep an eye on. Also, Dragon Dawn Productions contacted me and told me they're sending me a copy. And I said, well, I already reviewed it, though, for, the Kickstarter. Well, not reviewed it, but, And they said, well, there's more little things in there, little expansions. So they're sending me a new copy. I was like, sweet, very cool. So we'll take a peek. We'll see what the finished product looks like. 245 Trioxin has swung on into chat. Good to see you, 245T. Let's move on to the next news piece because there's an interesting solitaire game, which is up on the GMT Games P500. And here's what I know about I, Napoleon. I, Napoleon is a solitaire historical role-playing card game in which you step into the boots of Captain Bonaparte, as he still was, in the year 1793. Louis the 16th has just gone to the guillotine, and the brothers Robespierre control the destiny of France, and all Europe has joined French royalists to take down France, end the revolution, and restore peace and safety for the hereditary principles that have underlain society for 1,000 years or more. As an ambitious but unknown young artillery officer who speaks French with a Corsican accent, you would seem to be an unlikely agent of destiny. Can you harness a brilliant mind, titanic energies, and a sometimes terrifying charisma to leave your mark on history? Or will you die a minor footnote in the story of France? In I, Napoleon, your fate lies in 220 beautifully illustrated cards. Why can I not speak tonight? It's like a mush mouth. From the, what were those hillbilly bears? I know they weren't called hillbilly bears, but in I, Napoleon, your fate lies in 220 beautifully illustrated cards divided into 3 decks: Commander, First Consul, and Emperor. Overlaying a map of early 19th century Europe are a series of card boxes where you play out the events of your life and career, along with various tracks and tables to record the yearly passage of time and the events affecting yourself and France. The choices you make with the cards you are dealt will determine success or failure. You'll have to manage politics, military campaigns, diplomacy, and the domestic well-being of the French while pursuing the glory that lures you on. You will also have to manage your family, your wives, your mistresses, and your children, legitimate and otherwise. Your path may lead you from the Americas to the Near East, from Spain to Russia, from a throne to exile. You'll be the target of assassins, coups, and coalitions. You'll deal with bad harvests and plague, face Wellington and Nelson, Kutuvalv and Blucher. You will rely on and perhaps be betrayed by the slippery Talleyrand and unleash the secret policeman Fausch on your opponents. As you progress, your options will increase along with the stakes. Lead your men into battle and risk an early end to your life. Sail to Egypt or Ireland. Sell Louisiana or send an army to hold it. Marry a Habsburg or a Romanov. Create the Duchy of Warsaw or revive the Kingdom of Poland. Invade Russia or try to pacify the Tsar. Every choice will affect your legacy. But there's not one version of a life here, but many. Every game will provide a different narrative based on both luck of the draw and the decisions you make. In addition, you can start the game as a commander, as first consul, or as emperor, each with its own starting situation and challenges. The story is yours to discover. The decisions you make may just change the course of history. I, Napoleon, once again, is a solitaire game for ages 14 and up. Carries a P500 price of $49 with an eventual MSRP of $70. This is actually designed by Ted Racier. I gotta say, I am interested. I'm curious. Curiouser and curiouser. I like the fact that it provides a lot of different angles that you could take. And, you know, there's a lot of crossroads in Napoleon's life, and you can make different choices. So I am kind of curious how this will play out. But also, the other thing I do want to point out is all of this is kind of prototype that you're seeing. In fact, there weren't enough images, so I actually am sharing a couple of P500 banners for it. But yeah, this looks kind of cool. Let's move on to some role-playing game news, because there's a new bundle of holding that's arrived, and it features Paranoia Red. It's from Mongoose Publishing. Here's the skinny. Mission Alert Troubleshooter. We've cloned our June 2019 Paranoia Red Clearance Edition bundle with the new card-based 2016 edition of Paranoia, the classic satirical tabletop role-playing game from Mongoose Publishing about a darkly humorous future in the underground city of Alpha Complex. Funded in a tremendous October 2014 Kickstarter campaign, the revamped Paranoia Red Clearance Edition has all new rules, many devious setting updates, and enhanced backstabbing techniques to test on your fellow troubleshooters. Everything is different, but everything is still perfect. Your friend the computer says so. For just $19.95, you get all three titles in this revived offers starter collection, which carry a retail value of $51, as DRM-free PDFs, including the complete Paranoia Red Clearance Edition with its player's handbook, game master's handbook, and mission book, plus cards and play aids, the 2016 Forms Pack, and the interactive GM screen. And if you pay more than the current threshold price of $32.98, you'll also get this revival's entire bonus collection with 4 more titles worth an additional $67, including the introductory guide to Alpha Complex, Gareth Hanrahan's full-length mission Implausible Deniability, and Martin Doherty's mission Robots of Unusual Size, and John M. Ford's classic adventure The Yellow Clearance Black Box Blues Remastered. These savings run through December 27th and enforced by the Computer's Loyal Service in internal security. 10% of your payment after gateway fees will be donated to the pandemic-related charity Direct Relief. Direct Relief. What? My goodness, I swear. There is a bug that is just, I don't know if you're picking it up on the camera, and it's flying around, and it's so distracting. It's like, and I don't want to be like, yes, and then kill it, get it. Like, my gosh, it's the end of November. How is there a bug flying around here in the Duct Tape Studios? What is going on here? Kevin R. Smith has joined us in chat. Good to see you, Kevin. Kevin's another of our role-playing game reviewers for the Gaming Gang. In fact, today was the appearance of his first review for TGG. And in fact, I am going to have a news story regarding an adventure for this system that Kevin's actually in the midst of reviewing. So it was the player's guide that is up right now as far as reviews. Moving right along, pre-orders are going to begin soon for the 5th edition, or I should say 5E edition of Tome of Heroes from Kobold Press. Here's the deets. Tome of Heroes for 5th edition delivers character options galore, heroic choices that have been judged and found worthy, new styles of magic and new weapons options, all new monk paths, the river folk halflings and expanded cat folk, the soul spy rogue, a path of the dragon for barbarians, cleric domains, and much more. Discover a beautiful, well-organized tome of 5e D&D character races, backgrounds, and classes to expand your game in new directions. This project yields a wealth of brand new, carefully developed, and play-tested material, all of it immediately usable in your next game. with more than 50 subclasses, from the way of Carcodent Motion Monk to the Bard's College of Shadows. Your character choices are deeper than ever. Add 10 races, from the Cat Folk to the Gear Forged, alongside expansions for existing favorites like dwarves and elves, to experience new options that push your character concepts in original directions. Then unleash a grimoire of new spells, a full chapter of new equipment, suitable for both heroes and villains, and sprinkle in some entirely new schools of magic, liminal magic and portal magic, just to name a couple of them. And, well, things are about to get interesting. Right now, the pre-order has not started just yet. Strangely enough, Kobold Press sent me an email today saying that the pre-orders had begun, but there's no link. So I had already put together the news piece and everything, and I'm like, But I will tell you that retailers are pre-ordering right now. So that normally means within the next couple of days or so, you'll be able to jump in and pre-order Tome of Heroes, which successfully kickstarted. And I'm going to take a guess. The book is probably going to run anywhere from, let's say, $49.95 to, no, I think they do 99 on their books. $49.99 to, let's say, $54.99. That's what I think it's going to be. Kevin says they backed the Tome of Heroes Kickstarter, and it looks like a ton of stuff to steal for your own homebrewed setting. Well, I do know there's a lot of like the races and stuff in this Tome of Heroes that are from the Midgard setting, I believe. So I do think that has some aspect of this book as well. As you can see, the artwork looks very, very cool. My final news piece, there's a new first level adventure that's arrived from Mechanical Muse for the Etaltis 5e role-playing game. Here's the latest on The Forgotten Gate. You must seal the Deepland Hall. The ward on the gate to a forgotten Deepland Hall has failed, leaving the surrounding countryside defenseless against the hordes of Endrori, ready to attack from the caverns below. It's up to you and your stalwart companions to fight your way to the ancient gate, defeat the dark and terrible creatures that block your path, and protect the elderly warder of Elantra. Okay. What, are they the warder of a car? Stay away from that car, please. So I paused for a second. I'm like, okay, yeah, it is. It's Elantra. Anyway, the warder of Elantra, whose divine magic can seal the Forgotten Gate. The Forgotten Gate is a short, action-packed adventure for 4 or 5 first-level characters and designed for use with the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. The adventure takes place in the Seer of Dunbury, part of the World of Etaltis setting, but it can be easily inserted into any traditional fantasy role-playing campaign. So grab your blade and spellbook, gather your most courageous companions, and get ready to start your adventure in the World of Etaltis. You can score the 32-page softcover at Drive-Thru RPG for $9.99. Or if you want to just grab the PDF, you can do that as well and snag that for $4.99. And I believe if you get both, I think it's $11.99. Yes. So this is the game system that Kevin is in the middle of reviewing. And I'm not going to take anything away from his review. You got to go check it out. It is a written review over at thegaminggang.com. But it sounds very, very interesting. Yes. All right. That is it for the news. There's some discussion that I see in chat going on about Paranoia. And I remember I picked up Paranoia when it first came out, back when it was West End Games. if I remember correctly. I'm positive it was West End. And I've said it time and time again. I used to pick up loads of role playing game stuff, and I never ran it. I ran Call of Cthulhu, but I'd see something, I'd be like, "Ooh, piece of candy! Ooh, piece of candy! Ooh, piece of candy!" And I'd steal stuff all the time. For not, I don't mean physically steal things. I mean steal ideas from different games to utilize in Call of Cthulhu. So yes, one thing about Paranoia that I've got to say is I think it would be extremely difficult to run any sort of campaign with Paranoia. I really, really do. As far as, something that runs maybe 4 or 5 sessions, I think it should be pretty funny. It's, all depends on your sense of humor too. So there are players out there who, they don't want to be watching their clones get killed constantly. So other people be like, yeah, it's all right. Flemmy Heron says, yeah, there are tons of bundles out there at the moment. I know we're going to talk about another one on tomorrow's show. Also want to mention that if you go to thegaminggang.com, you will see today's, of course, Cyber Monday. There are still specials going on. They do end tonight. I have a list of a variety of different publishers as well as online retailers that are running specials that some of them started on Black Friday and run through tonight, or maybe they started tonight or today, I should say. So definitely check that out if you're still shopping for games for friends, family, or yourself. Of course, I was talking about Drive-Thru RPG a few moments ago when we were talking about the Forgotten Gates. Remember, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, Drive-Thru RPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. And there are a lot of people out there who do that. Thank you very much. So Fleming here says a few nickels, dimes, and pennies coming my way. Thank you very much. Tonight is the last night for the Black Friday Cyber Monday One Bookshelf site sale. Although I gotta say, I don't think they do any real sales over at Wargame Vault for some reason. It's like when we had the freebies for Halloween years ago, they used to do a few things. Now, nothing. So 245 Trioxins asking if the denial of service attacks have stopped. They have not. It's okay. I got Cloudflare on it. So I know I stopped the check. So if you go to thegaminggang.com, and you've seen these before. It's taking a few seconds before it connects. It's trying to make sure you're legit. You're not some bot. And I was like, yeah, we should be okay. Now, as soon as I told Cloudflare to stop doing that, I saw it was the same crap again. Flaming Heron says, make sure to check for the bonus sales that they have during this sale at Drive-Thru RPG. Alrighty. So you might be stopping by because you want to get a first look at Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos from Wizards of the Coast. This is arriving in stores on December 7th. It's going to carry an MSRP of $49.95. Once again, I do want to point out, stay tuned, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you how you can win my copy of the alternate art edition. I do this with all the D&D books that come my way that have alternate art. I always do a giveaway for it. and it will not be difficult. So stay tuned. I will tell you how to get into the running. So let's swing on over to the other camera because here we've got Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos. Rollicking campus adventures for the world's greatest role-playing game. Let's take a look at the back here. And before we jump on into the book, do want to mention a couple of things. Well, a few things, actually. First off, fine folks over at Wizards of the Coast were kind enough to provide me with this review copy of Strixhaven. But neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the gaming gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this with you. Also, I'm going to stay up here, picture in picture in the corner. So I am going to be chopping off a portion of the upper left of the book. Also, lastly, we are not going to look at each and every page. Just want to give you an idea of what this book is like, kind of give you a feel for it. There are 4 adventures, I understand, in the book. So if you are a player hoping that your game master, or I should say dungeon master, is going to pick this up, you may not want to watch this because even though we're not going to be looking at everything, we are going to see parts of the adventures. So let's take a look at the back here. The School of Magic is in session. The greatest minds in the multiverse meet at Strixhaven University. Professors teach wondrous secrets to eager students, and life on campus is frenetic. But danger lurks even here. When campus hijinks mix with sinister plots, it's up to you to save the day. You, Harry Potter, you! Sorry, not Harry. Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos, introduces the fantastical setting of Strixhaven University, drawn from the multiverse of Magic the Gathering, and provides rules for creating characters who are students in one of its 5 colleges. You can explore Strixhaven over the course of 4 adventures, which can be played together or on their own. Each describes an academic year filled with scholarly pursuits, campus shenanigans, hidden dangers, friendships, and even romance. This book also includes a poster map with Strixhaven's campuses on one side and location maps on the other. All right. Cesar Guardo has joined us. Welcome aboard. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's jump on in here. So let's take a look at the credits real quick. So if I sat here reading, all the writers and especially all the illustrators, we'd be here 10 minutes while I mispronounce all these people's names. So do want to give them some credit, though. Let's pop on in. So the mission of Strixhaven, is it Strixhaven or is it Strixhaven? I'm not sure. I got to be honest, I am not overly familiar with that aspect of Magic the Gathering. The mission of the university is to discover and preserve magical knowledge, to disseminate that knowledge from one generation to the next, to promote free and open study of magic in all its forms, and to enhance the lives of people throughout the world through the use of magic. Talking about the book, Chapter 1 gives an overview of life and study at the college. It introduces, the university, it is not a college. It introduces the main features of the central campus and each of the 5 colleges. Chapter 2 is your guide to creating a student character. Chapters 3 through 6 provide a campaign meant to advance characters from 1st to 10th level. And Chapter 7 is stat blocks for students, faculty, and various creatures on and around the Strixhaven campus. Let's take a look here. So the adventures go from page 40 to 182. So that is a nice long adventure. We're talking about over 140 pages. Talking about it's a university. For those of you out there who don't know the difference between a university and a college, I always thought, and maybe I'm wrong, so out in chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought a university has to have a library of a certain size. And if your school does not have a library of a particular, I guess, depth, that it can't be a university. That's what I always heard. I don't know. Could be wrong. Right. So we got a bit about info about the world. Talking about the different colleges. Prismari College. Prismari, the College of Elemental Arts, is devoted to the study and practice of art intertwined with magic. So it looks as if each of the colleges get maybe 3-4 pages devoted to them. Definitely cool artwork. The character options, I know this is something that a lot of people are going to be really excited about. I'll be the first to point out, I'm kind of surprised how they put together this book. Now, I haven't read this. This book actually showed up an hour before I started the first stream. So it showed up here at just after 6 o'clock Central Time. I didn't even read the back of the book. So, you know, when I do a first look, it really is a first look. But there's all these character options. I believe we've got a new race, a new culture, and it's these owl people right here, which we also have one on the cover right there. I like this art. I like the cover. I think the cover is pretty cool. It makes for a very nice wallpaper for your computer. I'm just saying. But I am kind of surprised that we've got an adventure with this book, because I wouldn't have thought we would have had an adventure. Because I know a lot of people, a lot of gamers are really looking forward to these different character options as well. So Caesar says, if this has a big library, you could shoehorn a Candlekeep mission into this adventure. So we've got race options. Oh, there we go. The Owlin. That's the new creature, new type. Distant kin of giant owls from the Feywild. Owlin come in many shapes and sizes, from petite and fluffy to wide-winged and majestic. Owlin have arms and legs like other humanoids, as well as wings that extend from their back and shoulders. Like owls, owlin are graced with feathers that make no sound when they move or fly, making it easy for them to sneak up on you in the library. All right. So we get some Strixhaven backgrounds. And I'm just skipping through here. We've got some magic items, but no images of them. Boo. I always like to see images of the magic items. Okay, so school is in session. This is the adventure. It says the following 4 chapters present a series of Dungeons and Dragons adventures optimized for 4 to 6 characters. Each adventure takes place on and around the Strixhaven campus. In these adventures, the player characters are students attending the university, and they become heroes in their own right as they navigate plots, overcome monsters, and thwart dangers that arise in each adventure. I have to kind of chuckle because currently Paizo has a university-based adventure path that's wrapping up, and it's the Strength of Thousands, which Sammy Uhas, another of our reviewers at the Gaming Gang, has been covering. In fact, I think it was yesterday. I want to say it was yesterday. The 5th chapter review got posted. Let's say it's the Doorway to the Red Star. So this is the new adventure. Talking about exams, relationships, having a session 0, making friends and rivals, deepening relationships. Looks like we've got some, either these are pre-gens or these are NPCs. These are NPCs, I believe. Oh, nice. We get a bunch of them. Campus kerfuffle. First day on campus. Digging the artwork throughout. Flaming Heron says that they could do with a whole book of character options. I've said it time and time again. The D&D books that sell the best are the player-facing books. It's not the dungeon master facing stuff. It's always the player-facing books. And I guess that would make sense because a lot of players out there want, anything they can get their hands on for more options as far as their character creation and things like that. But I don't know. I mean, myself personally, I don't think everybody at my game table needs to have a copy of the rule book of whatever game I'm running. I just don't think they do. Now, if they want to go grab them, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But I don't think they need them. But I know a lot of players out there, they demand, a lot of 5e players are like, okay, I need to have, the core 3. It's like, okay. Flaming Heron says that they make characters and never play them. I can't tell you how many times, this was not me running a game, but I can't tell you how many times we spent an afternoon rolling up characters for somebody was going to run a game, and we rolled up characters, and by the time we finished rolling up characters, it was, because this is back the old days when you didn't just, you're done in 5 minutes. All right, let's go. We didn't have these rules light, storytelling role-playing games. And I swear, dozens of times we did this and never played the games. So Caesar points out that, yep, that's why they put player options in every book. Well, not every book. Not every 5e book has had player options in it. But yes, I completely understand because, yes, people other than the dungeon master is going to buy it. So I'm just kind of zipping on through here. The Battle of Strixhaven. The 49th triennial rivalry between the Ivories returns. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Some pests in Sedgemoor. Oh, jeez. It's pretty wild. I always have some pretty cool art throughout. So I guess we've got some college athletics or university athletics here. I like the maps that were provided. Got some detail to them. So I certainly dig that. One thing about Dungeons and Dragons that I'm a little surprised, I mean, with 5e, is that they don't release them as PDFs. Yes, I know you've got D&D Beyond. I understand that, but it's still not a PDF. It's not the book in a digital form that resembles the exact book. I wish they would do that. I really do. I personally, and I understand why they don't do it, but personally, I would think you would get even more people playing, especially if your core book in PDF, let's say player's handbook, right? Say it was $13, $12.99, something like that. I think we would see such an explosion of players. So Flaming Heron says, yeah, that'd be nice, but they aren't ready to take that plunge. No, and I understand that. It's like people were mad at Fantasy Flight Games because they wouldn't release PDFs of the Star Wars role-playing game. And that was because of the deal that they made with Lucasfilm at the time, was that they were not allowed to release PDFs. Flaming Heron says, mind you, I'm sure the pirates just copied the books anyhow. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Well, actually, it's the main reason that I skip pages, is because there was a release that came out. And I mean, I had my hand on pages and things like that. And people still tried to pirate the book. It was like, really? From a video? How desperate could you possibly be? To me, I'd just go spend, $40, $50 to get the book. So this is the final chapter of the adventure, the fourth and final year of the player characters' academic careers. Clue in the Bayou. Mergetzor. I guess that's your big bad. I think that's your big bad, this frog guy. I think that's him. Flaming Heron says, I don't know. The books don't cost that much. I don't see the reason. Well, I understand. Money's tight with people. It's always tight with people. Even when the economy's good, there are people who just, they don't have, a lot of spending money. And I get it. That's how the world works. But come on. Yeah. If you got a group of players, everybody kicks in. We used to do that when we were in high school. You're like, oh, hey, that sounds kind of cool. Villains and Vigilantes, that sounds pretty neat. Yeah, I'll kick in $3 towards it. And never play it. Yeah, okay. We'll roll up characters and never play it. Sure, sounds good. The Fortress of Khadun basement. All right, and then we get Chapter 7, Friends and Foes. We got our stat blocks. Got a bestiary here. I think we've got some important NPCs as well that we'll get some stats for. I believe, unless they were all up front. No, here we go. Oh, no, I guess these are just sort of types of NPCs. So it's different faculty of the different colleges. Kevin says the books are pretty cheap on Amazon, but a lot of starving college students play D&D. Oh, I get it. I completely understand. Tabletop gaming, regardless of what you do, involves spending money. Unless you want to jump into things like basic fantasy, or let's be honest, you can run 5e from an SRD, but you're not going to get any artwork. You don't get, I don't think you get a monster manual with that. So here's our map. So I am not going to pull it out of the book, but this is what the map looks like on the one side. And altogether, we've got 224 pages in Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos from Wizards of the Coast for 5e. Once again, this is arriving in stores on December 7th. It's going to carry an MSRP of $49.95. So I already mentioned that I am going to give away my alternate art edition of the latest D&D book. And if you follow the Gaming Gang, if you've watched any of the videos where I'm doing the first looks at D&D books, you kind of know how I like to do my giveaways. So what I'm going to do is make it, once again, pretty easy. So first off, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. Easy peasy. Second, please like this video. I know there's no way for me to determine if you've liked it or not, but I ask, please. And in the comment section, let me know a magic school class you would think would be interesting. Once again, in the comment section, tell me about, and I mean, it can be a sentence. You don't have to go into all this detail. Tell me about a magic school class you think would be interesting. I am going to select a winner at random, and I will announce the winner on my review video. Or no, you know what? I will actually announce the winner on Tuesday the 7th, because I'll have a review out before the 7th, and then I will reveal the winner live on the Gaming Gang Dispatch on the 7th when this comes out in stores. Okay, let's move on over to the other camera. There we go. So see, it wasn't a little Christmas lighting thing going on. That wasn't what threw things out of sync. I don't know what was up. Anyway, of course, I will have a review on or before December 6th. And this looks interesting. This looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. I really did like the what is it? The Wild Before the Witchlight? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. There are so many role-playing game books bouncing around in my head. But the previous adventure book for D&D, I really liked. Yeah, it's The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So yeah, definitely dug it quite a bit. So this looks like could be interesting. I know there were some folks out there that are like, yeah, a school being students, I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. Anyway, that is it for tonight's show. On tomorrow's show, I'm going to unbox and take a first look at, get ready, I'm going to have to move my mic for this. Yes, that's right. I picked me up Gloomhaven. I got it on Black Friday. There was a special on Amazon. I'm a little bummed that the box is kind of dented. And this box must weigh about 20 pounds. It is not light. It is jam-packed. Omino asks, am I allowed to pick it up? Yes, I am cleared to lift this weight. Not a whole lot more than this, but I am allowed to open it up. So Omanal says, wait till Frosthaven. It's 30 plus pounds. So we're going to take a look at Gloomhaven tomorrow. I have never taken a peek at this. I have only seen the box. I think there are other people out there, and I know this has been out for a while, but I do think there are people out there who actually have never seen inside it either. So I'm going to share that. So we are going to take a look at that on tomorrow's show. And then on Wednesday's show, we're going to unbox and take a first look at Stratego Assassin's Creed. Yes, every once in a while, I like to throw a bone to people out there who like just the standard kind of board games. But it is Assassin's Creed. So, could be kind of cool. So, this is actually from Jumbo. So, we're going to take a look at that on Wednesday's show. That'll be relatively quick, I would think. All right, so that is it for this time out. Don't forget, get in the running to win the alternate art edition of Strixhaven. I always like the alternate art because they have a nice matte finish And the book just feels a lot different than the standard edition that kind of has that sheen, you know? So I definitely do like the alternate art just for the feel of the covers. But like I said, get in the running. Check it out. I'll be giving it away. So Heather L has joined us. Welcome aboard. Said they had the big box for a couple of years, but was too scared to try it until Jaws of the Lion came out. See, that was the thing. I thought, should I just pick up Jaws of the Lion because it's newer? Probably be more, interest in seeing that on the show. And then I thought, well, geez, that's 50. I can pick up Gloomhaven for 84. I was like, I'm just going to get Gloomhaven. I'll just pick it up. We'll see. Who knows? It might just collect dust. I have no idea. So I don't have any pressure to review it because I bought it. It's not something that was sent to me. Okay, that's it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central, but it'll also tell you when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Rackham Vale. Yes, if you are into the OSR, you are going to want to check out my review. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Once again, we are going to crack open Gloomhaven, and it's going to be pretty wild because the box is real. Let's hope, though, it all stays in focus because we're going to be going through different levels. Although the Sony's pretty good with the autofocus. Anywho, if you were watching live tonight, thank you very much. Always appreciate people hanging out, keeping me company. And if you took part in chat, I appreciate that as well. So I don't feel like a complete doofus just babbling on into the ether. I also know a lot of people out there don't have the opportunity to watch the show live. Hey, whenever you watch, however you watch, even if you're watching on Memorex, I certainly appreciate everybody taking time out to watch any of my videos. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, such as the first review from Kevin Smith today, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And lastly, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're still here. Well, while you're kicking it, how about subscribing to the Gaming Gang channel or seeing the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch or finding out what YouTube recommends you check out here at my channel. And of course, don't forget, get your geek on at thegaminggang.com.